Welcome to another edition of Len's Burning Bush. I am Len Harvey. Before I bring on my guest for the week, I want to talk about what's really burning my bush. Now, have you ever needed to sell anything? It is just an exhausting process. Now, of course, in the old days, it was even worse. If you had to sell something, you listed in the newspaper classifieds. For those of you that don't understand a newspaper, I'll have to explain that on another show if you don't know what a newspaper is. But anyway, slowly but surely, we started to move to Craigslist. But today, it's even easier. Now, you can take pictures and you could just list it on Facebook Marketplace, which is actually a cool feature if you want to sell a car, lawn equipment, or anything else for that matter, bikes. As good as it is to get your crap sold, it's also a curse of endless people with the questions, is it still available? Well, of course it's available. I am just listing it to mess with you. No, it is not available. What do you think? If it still says available, why are you asking me this? The countless questions on something that is listed for cheap just to get rid of. So the reason I bring this up, last week I decided to list an older riding mower that I had for $200. Now, it was in decent shape, but it needed some work, and it worked, it cut, and I said that. And it generated a lot of interest. But even though I put it cuts and it's operational, you wouldn't believe how many questions I got on this $200 lawnmower. At one point, somebody asked me, what's wrong, what's this and that, and I said, it's not perfect. And if it was, I'd be selling it for $500 instead of $200. Now, I eventually sold it, but getting people to commit to a time to come is another chore in the whole process because they set a time to come and then they don't come. And then you ask them what happened. They're like, oh, I forgot, or I'll be there tomorrow. And it's just annoying. And they finally decided to come. But I had even people who would say, would you take $100? No, I listed it for $200. Why would I take it for $100? I guess you don't get anything in life unless you ask. You got to try anything, right, at this point. With that being said, it's time to bring on my guest for the week. She is a trumpeter, vocalist, songwriter, entertainer extraordinaire. She has a new record out, Corona, You Make Me Sick. Please welcome Lady J. Houston to Len's Burning Bush. Lady J, it is a pleasure to meet you today.
Wow, that was a beautiful introduction. You almost sounded like you were singing a song, okay? Well, thank you for having me.
Well, I appreciate it. I don't sing as well as you, but I do try. I do every once in a while. I'll get up and do a little karaoke, but I don't have the pipes that you do.
Okay, you got a different set of pipes. You speak well.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. After so many years of doing this, I think I have that, but everybody always says, it's kind of funny. The people that didn't know that I did some radio in the day would say, man, you sound so professional. I'm like, well, I guess that's a good compliment, right? But yeah, I've done it a few times, right? You sound so professional. So you have this new record out, which Corona, You Make Me Sick, which I listened to it. It's fantastic, by the way. And
thank you so much.
You're welcome. And what's interesting is with this whole pandemic, everything has just been crazy, right? You got people, right. You can't go places, and now finally we're going places. It seems like we went back and it seems to be good again. They're saying, oh, you don't have to wear a mask if you're vaccinated and this and that. I don't know what it's like in the St. Louis area, but I know in Kentucky they've started now where they're putting up signs that says, if you have been vaccinated, you don't have to wear the mask. But if you want to wear the mask, you can. Is that kind of the same thing in St. Louis area?
I'm not seeing signs, but it's, we're following those same rules. The thing is, most people are apprehensive to take their mask off because they don't trust the people with the mask off if they're really vaccinated. So that's the issue.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. What I find interesting is a lot of people, I don't know if you've noticed this on social media, but it's been driving me crazy for a long time, where you see people taking pictures of themselves with the mask on. I know you wear the mask. I don't need to see you wearing the mask, right? To prove that you're actually doing it. Or they'll always have to throw in a little bit of a dig on their post by saying, oh, I went to this place last night. I went to the movies for the first time. Most people weren't wearing their mask. And then blah, blah, blah. They'll say, but I sipped through a straw with my mask on. Like just to give you that indication that they wore their mask, right?
They're being obedient. Let them go ahead and have it. Okay. And then sometimes you're taking pictures with strangers And so you have your mask on. You don't want to expose yourself. So
True.
just, keep those things in mind.
I understand, and,
Okay.
and I'm not trying to be mean. I wear the mask. I do it. I just don't need to tell people I wear it. Right? That's the thing. Now you have done a lot of music. You've toured with blues legend Albert King. Why don't you talk a little bit
Yes.
about that, because that's some exciting stuff for everybody.
Yes, I was about 18 years old. I had gone to college, University of Kansas, and a financial situation was rough. So I took a hiatus, came home, and was boo-hooing. I don't know what was going to happen with my life. And my mother, her name is Lois Houston, is a wonderful singer and things here in St. Louis and mover and a shaker. So she took me to a jam, well, a gig with this gentleman named David Hines and forced me on stage. So she was a little bit of a stage mother when I was apprehensive. Sometimes I would just run up there and sometimes I was nervous. So I sat in with his show. He then asked me to be part of this CASA, Conservatory and School for the Arts. And a gentleman named Prince Wells was playing trumpet. And then he had been with Albert and was going to stop playing. I went on an audition with Frank Dunbar, who happens to be in my band right now. This is many, many moons later. He auditioned me. I got the job because I got music scholarships and everything, so I knew how to play. So the first time I meet Albert is when we're getting ready to go on the road. He pulls up in this big bus and says, "Oh, you the girl gonna be playing with us, huh?" I was like, "Oh yeah." I'm the girl.
That's
Okay,
me.
he never said girl. I'm the girl.
Yeah.
Okay, and so there I went. And one of the first places we played was Kansas City. And the saxophonist wasn't on stage when he was supposed to be at the beginning of the show. And then we spot him in the middle of a brawl because he was dancing with a woman whose husband came in the room a few minutes later. And I'm like, wow, okay, there's a fight going on, but do we continue to play? Bah, 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 bah. Okay, we continue to play. So that same gentleman, months later, one time Albert didn't have the money right there. He's usually really good getting the money from the venue, etc. But he gave this place that he was very fond and friendly with a little leniency in giving the money, and that guy did not like that, and he had a gun in his
Oh,
horn case. And well, Albert kept a gun on him all the time, and he actually had a sheriff's card from someplace in Arkansas. So, so Albert said, "Really?" And then Albert pulled his gun out, and this is all new to me. And one of those guys' guns fell and slid over to my feet, and I'm in terror. I'm terrorized. But they settled the dispute, but that gentleman didn't play much longer with Albert. Albert did. He had some odd characteristics about himself. One time there was a guy on the bus, played trombone, and he just had a body odor issue.
oh, that's
Uh,
not good.
and Albert, yeah, Albert got tired of it and kicked him off the bus on the freeway. He was stranded. He just said, "Get off my bus. I can't. And you smell."
Wow, that's very interesting. To do it. I don't think I would have put it that way, but that you smell that's interesting. Get off the bus.
Yeah, yeah. Get off the bus.
That, that,
And then playing on huge shows with we partnered a lot with Bobby Blue Bland and BB King, and I was able to meet. I'm mad that I didn't have a cell phone in those days. Not just a cell phone. I didn't have enough sense to take pictures with Muddy Waters and John Lee Hooker. I'm on gigs with these people, and I would just sit there in awe looking at them. I knew they were legends, but I didn't have enough. I'm just so mad at myself for not carrying a camera.
well, what's funny is I had this conversation about a week or two ago in one of the episodes, and we talked about the fact that you have so much at your fingertips now with the cell phones and the cameras. But I actually think we almost take too many pictures with the cell phone. But I'm like you. I didn't take a lot of
Right.
pictures growing up, and I didn't. There's a lot of things that I remember in my mind, but I don't have the actual evidence. And
No.
you'll always have those memories, but it would have been nice if you took a little bit of, that would have been good for the selfie, right? You would have had this, everybody together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, check me out with Mighty Waters, Johnny Hooker, Willie Dixon. These are, long gone legends who created what we are doing today in the blues. So yeah, I'm mad at myself. And it really didn't dawn on me until near my last show. And then I asked my cousin to come take pictures from my last official show. But I continued to play with Albert off and on when he came to DC. That's where I moved and went to Howard University, and that's I majored in music theory and composition. But what he liked about me is that I knew how to write music too. And so I decided to start writing out his charts because he kept firing people. And I got tired of teaching them, because it takes a little longer if you got to learn without music. And so I just started writing it out. So then I became his music director.
Wow. Some interesting stuff going up. Now, one of the things I read about you is that you've won a lot of awards, but you're reigned as the Las Vegas Queen of the Blues. That's
yes, I did.
Wow. That's amazing. Now that you have proof of. There's proof of that, right?
I have that. I had a wonderful manager, Z Lipsky, who loved taking pictures. Was photographer and did all kinds of things. So we took a ton of pictures. So yes, every award I would get, there was a picture to go along with it. And so Z was instrumental in helping me through the Las Vegas scene because, I moved there. I didn't know anybody. And then a couple of years later, I met Z and there we went. And it was, we did America's Got Talent, all kinds of things. Great experience in Las Vegas. And I still miss Las Vegas. And I'm looking forward to going back in September for the Big Blues Bender. I wasn't able to get on the full billing, but I will be playing there at some of the events. So I'm excited.
When is that? Because I'm going to be in Vegas, I think the 17th of September through the 22nd.
Oh, that is, now you're going to miss it. I don't have the dates on top of my head, but it's September 10th through 12th.
Oh,
and so, yeah. So the Las Vegas Blues Society is going to be hosting one of their famous jams, and we're going to coordinate that to make sure I get all my people down there. And so, hey, my Vegas peeps, I'm coming. Get ready.
I love it. Come and get ready. Now, this whole pandemic has hurt the music industry a lot. It's also the server industry, but the music industry in particular, because, you're used to performing on a regular basis. So the fact that you had to wait a long time before you could start doing it again. How was that like during the time you couldn't perform?
Oh, that was one of the darkest times of my life. There was a combination of things going on. Since I wasn't performing, I had been a chicken about getting my left hip replaced. So this nurse I was visiting with, she said, you need to go ahead and get this because now you have time to recover. And so I did that. And when it first started coming through, I had an entertainer friend that was living in Japan. And she says, you all need to get ready. And I was saying, ready. And she was taking videos of when I was going to the grocery store with like in a spacesuit. And I was like, what are we getting ready for? It was frightening seeing this. And So I started getting ready, and my doctor told me, because I had some immune issues, that if I were to go out, I could likely die or become severely ill. So stay in the house. So when I couldn't go anywhere, and people were shopping for me and doing everything. And so I then started to do some live streaming. To get at least a feel of my music. And before the weather gotten cold here, I would perform in my sunroom, and people would sit outside on my patio. And so you started to have to find creative ways to deliver your music, because it's devastating to the soul when you can't get it out.
Yeah, I talked about that's kind of the reason I started the podcast was. for this reason as well, because I, needed something to do, right? Just something during the pandemic to do. So it certainly helps to do this. It's therapeutical, and you are by taking care of your health. That's also good too. So some good things come of those bad things, right?
Right. Well, I had a cousin who was having issues in March, and they weren't taking it serious enough. I feel, well, it was no doubt in his case. They were saying, "Oh, you probably got a sinus infection, or you probably got a this," and he could not even get tested. This was going on, and well, he ended up going to the emergency room. Was intubated. Never knew he had the disease and died a week later.
Wow, that's
So
awful.
that really infuriated me to no end. And then I had started doing research, and I was saying, find out what drugs they're giving him. And Lord behold, they had given him that hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah.
And but they wouldn't give him remdesivir. They wouldn't let his wife do a test because she wasn't ill. Maybe she had built up antibodies. And I said, try to get her to donate some plasma. They wouldn't even take it. So I really got infuriated about all of that, and so it made me move forward to try to be an advocate for people who aren't being recognized the way they should have been, and help educate, because I was doing a lot of studying. So I created this group called Black Corona Lives Matter on Facebook. And it's been a great outlet of sharing information, discovery, sometimes fighting with people because they did not believe in the vaccine. And to this day, some people don't believe in the vaccine. But I was no nervous about it in the beginning too. But I study. I don't study just one news source. I go to medical sources and different sciences, and that's when I became more comfortable with go ahead and trying it. And so things are coming back because of those of us who have took the bravery to go ahead and do it. Being it was new in some aspects, but not all aspects. And so we're all happy to be coming back, and we're not enough of us are not vaccinated, and I just want to encourage that. That's part of my heartfelt mission, is to help us get over this pandemic, one person at a time. And so I've been on the Associated Press, I've been on CBS News, and I did a PSA for Mercy Hospital, and they mixed in my video with Corona You Make Me Sick. And they picked sections where I'm bumping and grinding. And I'm like, I can't believe a hospital would pick some of those spots
Yeah.
for the commercial. And I was like, it's hilarious. So, check that out too, everybody that's listening. Mercy Hospital.
Mercy Hospital. Now, you mentioned about the vaccine, and I wound up getting vaccinated, so I'm good now. The state of Ohio, though, is doing something. I don't know if they're doing it in Missouri, but they held a lottery for vaccinated people that gave $1 million to somebody. And they're also trying to give scholarships and different things
Right.
to get people, hey, get vaccinated. It's a good thing. I wanted to get back to doing stuff, so I went ahead and got vaccinated. And I agree with you. I think that if we're gonna beat this, vaccination helps.
Yeah, the stats already is showing that. It's just nothing better for us right now. Nobody wants to get vaccinated in this manner, but this is the only thing we have now to get us back to life. So, yeah, I don't blame those states. We don't have anything. I mean, in Missouri, it took us forever to be able to even get the vaccine. Most people had to drive 200 miles out to rural areas. It was a mess. But now you can do the walk-ins and just go just about anywhere and get it taken care of. So please, people, just go ahead and do it. So that'll help us get that, herd immunity. We may not get there 100%. The coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2 may never leave. It's a mysterious virus, and it's powerful.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And you talk about music and getting back. A Florida concert promoter's kind of taken your idea about getting people vaccinated, and they're charging people $18 for tickets for people that are vaccinated. And listen to this: they're charging them $1,000 for people that are not. So they're trying. I mean,
or basically don't even come in this joint, okay?
Pretty much,
So,
because I don't think
you know,
anybody.
they're having, yeah, some places are having the vaccines on site at venues that they want. And if you want to get in, you got to, show proof of being negative, or you have your vaccine card. And so, the only problem is for people who are not able to get the vaccine, they should not be, jeopardized from that. So that's the only glitch in this, when you're not going to be able to participate in things, is if you have a medical condition and you can't get the vaccine.
Right, exactly. There's got to be some kind of stipulation. But Paul Williams of Leadfoot Productions came up with the idea while brainstorming how to book the concert in a quick, efficiency way. That's according to local TV station WFTS out in Florida, with vaccines becoming widely available for people in the CDC and in Florida getting vaccinated. But still, what's interesting, Lady J, is that no one has paid the $999 or $1,000 price tag so far. So he's got no tickets sold at that.
I don't expect him to.
Yeah, and I think he realized
they're going to sit that concert out.
Yeah, exactly. And in midst of all this, I had an episode last week. We talked about the cicadas coming. Have you seen any cicadas?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I don't want to.
no, I agree with you. And they've been in D.C. and Pennsylvania, West Virginia, New York, Georgia. They're swarming, but there's people, apparently they're foodies out there that are working with
making
these
cookies with them and things. Yeah.
I'm not eating a cicada. Are you? I mean, I know people that eat grasshopper and stuff, but I'm not eating a cicada.
I don't even want a grasshopper.
No,
Okay. No.
I agree with you. I just don't understand why. Yeah, everybody's got, like, they have these coronavirus. I'm not coronavirus. Listen to me. They've got these cicada parties and all this stuff that they're having. I just don't want to be bothered with that stuff. We haven't seen too many.
I mean, scientific study of the process, what they're doing and everything, that's interesting. I find them creepy to look at. I mean, they have a right to look the way they do. I shouldn't be prejudiced against their looks or anything, but I couldn't imagine. I just don't. I don't eat insects. So and certain meats and things I don't eat either. So anybody that wants to have fun with them, more power to you.
Yeah, they say insects, along with smaller animals like chicken or seafood, plant-based proteins, all play a role not only for nutritional needs, but trending more lightly on the planet. But I'm not eating a cicada. I don't care. I'm setting my ways there. That's not happening.
Yes, I'm.
So
nope. I join them.
So your new song, "Corona, You Make Me Sick." You've got experience with people unfortunately dying of coronavirus. You came up with this song. How did that happen?
The National Blues Museum put out a call for a songwriting contest to talk about the experience, and I submitted my song for that, and I won the competition. And my footage was terrible. I was starting on my tablet, it died, then I went to my cell phone, and then I had to splice it together, and it's two different looking things, but the response was fantastic. And I'm like, okay, I might have something going on here. And then I recorded it in my keyboard with just me playing all the parts. And then the Keep Live Alive St. Louis, I was a part of that event to help raise funds for the entertainment industry at whole. And they loved it. First, they asked me to sing America the Beautiful. And I said, okay. And I said, do you have time for this other song? And I sent it to them. They said, skip America the Beautiful. We want you to do that song. And I was so excited. I said, okay, I might have something going on here. So let me go ahead and go in the studio with this. And a gentleman helped finance it, because I probably still wouldn't have it out there without his help. And so we did it. And it was done at Paul Niehause's studio here in St. Louis. And I had some of the best musicians on there, and that's why it sounds so good. And then we made a video. I recruited my assistant Altheria and some other friends to dance with it. And so we put a video together. We did the studio thing, and voila, there it is.
Well, I would like on this show, if we can get just a few, even if you don't want to do the whole song, I know it's a cappella, but I would love for you to do a little bit for people to get an understanding. But how can they get this song first before you give them a little tease? Give them a little tease before you give them a little, but how can you get it?
You can get it through all the streaming networks. I went through CD Baby, so iTunes, Amazon. You can listen through Spotify, Pandora. So it's everywhere for downloading. I just got the physical CDs in. I'm still trying to figure out how to get those mailed out because I'm only selling the CD for $5. The downloads are 99 cents. And it has a beautiful graphics on the inside and outside that people don't normally even see these days. So the postage for the mailing of them is a challenge right now. It's almost costing the same as the CD. So, but I'll be they'll be at the stores here at the Vintage Vinyl. And then, of course, if you see me at a show, come to a show. I will autograph it on the spot and take care of it right then. So I keep them on hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the link in the description of the episode. I'll put the link on Len's Burning Bush podcast page. We'll have it all over so you can get it on your website.
Oh.
And yeah, we'll have all of that. But I would be remiss if I didn't ask you to sing. So I have to at least ask. Will you honor our presence?
Okay, it's early in the morning.
Yeah, I understand.
Early in the morning, people.
I know, but let me just say, and it's probably the quality of the audio is going to be a little bit less than normal, but her voice is so good. So let's hear a little bit of Corona. You make me sick.
See, he's still singing a song. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's it. I'm singing.
Okay. Corona, you make me sick. Oh, Corona, you make me sick. Get off my head and get out of my chest. I don't want to be dead. Corona, you make me sick. Don't, telling me lies. Don't know what to do. Corona, you make me sick. Ow.
Wow. And that was early in the morning on a Facebook video chat, and that was tremendous. Can you imagine seeing her in person doing Corona, you make me sick? I love it. I'm excited that it's early in the morning, right? We're excited to hear Corona, you make me sick. It is available now on all of the streaming devices, and you can get it on her website. Lady J, give out your website, will you?
That is Lady J Houston, LadyJHuston.com. And like I said, also at Vintage Vinyl Records here in St. Louis. And at all my concerts, I will have them on hand, and I can give you a few of those dates if you got time for that.
We got time. Go right ahead.
Okay, so the National Blues Museum is celebrating Juneteenth. That's on June 19th. My band will be there from 5 p.m. to 6:30. The whole event is from 11:30 to 8:30. I hope everyone comes out and support that. I'll be at the Blues Cruise at the Arch. This is a huge event. I'm so happy to be on that lineup. That is on June 24th, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. You can go on their website as well as mine. I'll have links to get tickets for that. 21 and over only. We'll be doing some craziness there because it'll only be grown folks. Okay. So I'm back at the Blues Museum July 31st. A virtual show at Blues at the Arch, August 6th, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Then the Blues Museum again, August 28th, the Big Blues Bender. I'm jamming with you all down there in Las Vegas. I'm heading down to the King Biscuit Blues Festival in October. And then KDHX Live, our popular radio station here. I'll be doing a streaming show with them, with the band. That'll be video, 7:20 to 8 p.m. And then I'm also in the Dragons Drum and Bugle Corps, and I play trumpet. I'm on the board of directors, and I'm a youth mentor. So we're doing auditions on June 5th, and then we'll be playing all over the area. And we are looking for youngsters that can play, and then a few spots for pros. So come and join us.
Well, this has been a treasure having you on, and I hope you'll do this again sometime after. It sounds like you're back in full swing doing concerts, which is great. We love to have the music. Live music again is gets me going because I enjoy it. We go see some bands locally. I mentioned to you off the air, we talked about the fact that Dave Black and Joe Mancuso and Javier Mendoza, all from the St. Louis area originally, they've been on the show.
Great.
So,
entertainers, yes, and all of these concerts are outdoors, and safety measures are in force, and so there's no reason for you all to continue to sit at home. Get on out and scream and have some fun.
Right, and listen to Corona Make Me Sick. I like that. So I'd be remiss to not mention that it is Memorial Day weekend coming up, and as we reflect on this Memorial Day, we need to honor all the men and women, servicemen who lost their lives. So thank you to all the men and women who have and continue to fight for our freedom. The original name for Memorial Day was Remembrance Day, so let's now remember those who gave the ultimate sacrifice on this Memorial Day.
Absolutely.
You can like Lens Burning Bush on Facebook at Lens Burning Bush and follow at Lens Burning Bush on Twitter. YouTube channel is Len Harvey, and this episode will get uploaded to YouTube as well. You can hear the audio on it. iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Podbean, iHeartRadio. Tune in. You can even ask Alexa to play Lens Burning Bush, also on Stitcher and now Pandora. We are on as well. We have some downloads outside the United States as well, so it's kind of interesting getting that. But thank you so much for doing this, Lady J. It's been a pleasure to meet you today, and we'll get you. Hopefully, you'll get tons of downloads for your new song. I hope that's the case. Go listen to.
I really appreciate it.
Well, listen to. Corona Make Me Sick. Thank you, Lady J. Houston. I'm Len Harvey. We'll be back with another episode of Lens Burning Bush next week. So long.